Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Powerful, powerful, powerful word. We're going to talk more about who created that word, that whole word in this interview. Stay tuned. Yes, we are here back at Achieve Expert Highlight Show. And we have, this is celebrity. When I first met this wonderful man, I was like, ooh, he's good. I got to get to know him. I have to get to know Matt. And well, his name is Franklin McDaniel. Okay, that's his full name. But we call him as Mac because he's family. He's family to achieve. I know everybody's listening right now knows this person because he is amazing. And before he even speaks, I just want to just give him so much honor and just give you so much. Just thank you for coming on this show. And I want to say this too, a lighthouse to veterans, for first responders, to law enforcement, all of those main people that sometimes we forget that's really fighting for us or have fought for us. And sometimes we're not giving them all the love that they need, especially when they have to transition from where they're to the next phase in their life. So, but this man right here, he's like the guru of that. So, hey, Matt.
Barbara, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you too, sir. And, just thank you. Like I said, just giving you honor for who you serve. I love when we first met and we had a long conversation, which was just, I was getting so many golden nuggets from you. I always tell people when you know a person and their background and their experience, not just the experience in business, but just in life, that's where that connection comes. And think about this, and I'm going to put this out here, 50 years. He's been doing like self-development, been self-employed, helping so many businesses for 50 years. You cannot get that like just anywhere. So let's give some respect right now. I'm going to put that out there real quick. And if you need some questions or anything, go to Matt, 50 years. But yes, Matt, I just want to say thank you for just being an advocate, like you said, for the veterans and for the first responders. And like you said, the law enforcement, all of that's needed right now, especially for the veterans transitioning from from out there fighting and everything. And then they have to come back and really say, okay, now what do I do? I still got to live life, right?
Yeah, it's been real interesting to me because I served during the Vietnam War. I did not have to go by the time I got out of my explosives schooling. They were pulling the Marines out of Vietnam. But it's always, I come from a military family. I had a cousin that was a Marine, died during the Tet Offensive. He was kind of like my older brother. And we've heard the stories of Vietnam, but it's really every war. And when people serve, I wore a Vietnam pin for my cousin Bobby, and 30 years after I got out, I was getting on a plane, and a pilot said, "Welcome home." It was the first time anybody had ever said that to me. And I told them the story. He said, "Well, you served also, so it's important." But at 18, when I went in, you're just a dumb kid. You don't know what you're agreeing to.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I'll get a coal uniform, and the girls will like me. But there's so much more to it than
Mm,
that. And what I have discovered is that a lot of men, and now more since like Desert Storm, which was after I got out, a lot
mm-hmm.
of ladies have
Mm,
served in different positions that were more visible.
yes.
Prior, during my time and before, a lady might be a nurse. She might be the general secretary,
Mhm.
but she wasn't out on the combat field. She
Mhm.
wasn't, going to a
To
war zone and,
mhm.
and living on base.
Mhm.
And I truly feel that it's up to all of us to recognize
Yeah.
these heroes. And I know that's a trendy word, but
Mhm.
they really are heroes.
Yeah.
They So many people don't understand what goes on every day, and
Mhm.
how a young boy or a young girl
Mhm.
at 18 goes
Yeah.
away from home, maybe the first time,
Yeah.
and their life is totally changed. It's a whole different reality of adulthood.
Yes. So much. So much. And I like how you said when you were 18, you was like, oh, I just, cute, nice suit and the girls, but it's and
I'm honest.
even now, I mean, people, because I know people that's been in the military for years that I've been born, and some said that too. They said, Barbara, when I first, I was the same thing you said, and they said, "Oh boy, my world is totally like changed." When I
Yeah.
got drafted in. Like, okay, this is not just the girls in the suit anymore. This is other things going. Yeah.
It's just part of the process, and you know, uh, being at my age level, and I got out 50 years ago, and
Mhm.
the military to me, it's amazing. At the time, I didn't realize the lifelong education that I was getting.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
not to how to fight, but it was life things.
Life things.
Still, when I have to get up at 4 in the morning for some reason, the little drill instructor goes off in my head, and they tell me to get my butt moving. Uh, and it's little things like that we learn, and it really does stay with us.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's
the,
ingrained in us. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
the unfortunate part is that after we've done that, whether it's one enlistment or 20
multiple.
years or
Mhm.
30 years, um, there's just a lot to remember and understand why we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then and I'm just gonna say this, like you said, we're authentic here, is what my thing is, I'm an advocate for, especially for the veterans, is that, like you said, you served this country, man. You went out, you did you fought the war, whatever what you had to do. Just being that, and being to the point of, okay, I'm not even thinking about myself anymore. I'm thinking about the people in the United States or wherever you're serving, thinking about them. So you're putting your own life to the side. I mean, I always tell people that. Think about this. They're putting their life to the side to serve us. And then for them to come back, for the veterans to come back and not get the proper, treatment, or not even get thank you for serving for us, stuff like that. Because every time I hope, I'm sorry I didn't say that to you. Thank you for your service, because we need to make sure we're doing that. You can't even do that much, and they fought. I get on my soapbox, man, and people can't stop me. They're like, "Okay, Bar, we get it. Okay, you're upset." I said, "I am." It's really, it hits me. It really does.
I think that when I was and the country today is divided, and not to get into
The
politics.
politics. Yeah.
During Vietnam, it I had people spit on me, and
See.
I think that we have learned since that time that it wasn't our Marines and soldiers and sailors,
Mm-hmm.
you know. we can agree or disagree with the government,
Mm-hmm.
but the men and women that made that choice, they do need to be held up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I love what you do. And I want you to go more into that too, talk about more into that because it's so important you being just an advocate and just being in the trenches. And I'm saying trenches like, being in art, but in the trenches in the sense of after the transitioning of that. I'm glad that you're working with so many people that's been working with so many people because it's needed. Because like you said, a lot of people some people don't get it. So I want you to just kind of just take us through that, when the people that you are helping, like the vets and everybody, with that transitioning part.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because when I got out, I started a business as a salesman. And I learned and I progressed and I grew. And some people would, definitely say that I had a lot of success. Um, but I learned some of the pitfalls. And it's funny, you started with the fall down 7 times, get up 8. There's actually a story to that. Uh,
I knew it was.
I, my mom was not a rich woman. My dad left when I was 2. My mom never remarried, put herself through college. She was actually pregnant with my sister when my dad left. And she put herself through college, ended up getting her master's, and then went on and got her doctorate. Um, strong woman, strong woman. But she gave me this plaque that's sitting by my desk right now that says, fall down 7 times, get up 8 for my 8th grade birthday. And she did it with decoupage, which was kind of, I call it hippie art. At the time, I remember I said, this is what I'm getting for my birthday? What the heck? I want a new bike or a skateboard. But it is right at the top of my most valuable
Yes.
possessions. And I think that's what we all have to understand. It doesn't matter who we are or what we did. Life will smack you upside the head with a 2x4.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You,
Sometimes two by fours.
you can fall down and die, or you can get up and
That's
move
right.
forward. And
Yes.
that's kind of how I try to guide my life with this whole process of what we're trying to do for our superheroes.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love it. Thank you, Matt, saying that the superheroes, and you're one of them. So just remember that.
Thank
I had to throw that in there. But I love that because, like you said, before we started basically this interview, I love how you said, well, Barbara, I'm just living. You got to live, just live. Don't worry about this or that. Just live. And I'm like, I'm so glad that you said that. And we need to take that under consideration, all of us, no matter what age we are. No matter what age we are.
Very true.
Yeah.
My grandmother, my mom's mom, lived with us after my dad left until the 9th grade. When I was in the 9th grade, and then she went to some of her other. She had 10 kids and a foster kid that she took in. But she came over on the boat from Ireland, and that she did a lot of what we would say, you know, why would anyone do this? And that she cleaned toilets, and that she worked in a detention center. She put book bindings on Bibles,
Wow.
and she taught me how to be strong. And, uh, and her husband, after the 10th kid, her husband left. I only met him one time in my life. And
Something about all these husbands leaving and the women get
my
strong.
whole life has been surrounded by strong women.
Wow.
And I've said more than once, I had to fight to be a man, and and not sexual wise, but just to say, hey, I'm tough and strong too, and that. But I've always looked at it as that we have to find mentors.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. There's a video guy, Dar Man. You may be familiar with some of his things. And I love his shows because they're about life and about looking at people and seeing that people have challenges.
Yeah.
And we should not be abusing those weaknesses that they have,
Yeah.
but we should always be trying to build them up. And that's what I'm trying to do now with our Veterans Achieve Business Systems group.
Yes. I love how and it seems like, because that's another thing I love what you do, Matt, is all the challenges, everything, like you said, everything you went through for all the years, that's all the experience and everything, you use what your mother gave you. And that was like the gift of gifts that she gave you, even though at the time the skateboard would have been nice or something. But at the time, you didn't understand that this is life gift right here that she gave you. So it seemed like all through your life, you said to yourself, okay, maybe here I fell, or maybe this didn't go right, or whatever, mine didn't happen the right way or whatever. But you just dusted yourself off and said, okay, let's keep doing this. Let's keep it moving, right? And we all have those choices. And I always tell people, I think it's better to get up, learn from it, make adjustments, keep moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you have done. And that's what, as you as a mentor, I see that you've shown that for so many people.
Yeah. And we can't let people do it for us. That's a mistake.
Yeah, that is.
For help, that's a position of strength, saying, hey, I could use a hand, but it's a hand up, not hand out. And that, it's the teaching a man how to fish reality. We have to learn how to do it, because that stronger person will not always be there for us. We have to learn how to become strong.
Wow, I had to write that down. See, when you be dropping, like these mic drops and golden nuggets, I gotta write it down. I killed myself. I said, I be interviewing so many wonderful, powerful experts, and then when you give me some good stuff to think about, I'm like, oh, I'm a student right now. Give me a second. But I love it. I like how you said, like I always think about the fish. Like you said, show them instead of just handing the fish. I always say that to everybody. I love that whole story.
Yes.
Basically, it's based by the Bible. And I always tell people, yeah, because when you just keep giving, they're going to keep coming back. But why don't you just show them how to do it? Yeah, so they can grow. Yeah.
And very honestly, my selfish need is that I have to teach all the younger people, because someday I'm not going to be able to do it for myself. And I hope they're strong enough to take care of me. Just being honest.
I'm going to turn that around and say that's wisdom. Just being selfish. That's wisdom. Yeah, I think the same way too, man. I'm like, hopefully, if I teach all these people what to do and how to do it and stuff, then somewhere down the line they're gonna be like, okay, let's help Barbara, because now she's up there. She needs some help. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So, Matt, I want you to just get a little bit into when you are working, what's like the process? Because I know a lot of the audience, I want them to kind of know what you kind of take people through, or as you being that mentor, being that advocate.
This came about a year ago. Achieve is my main, family community business group. I like the fact that they're an international organization. They don't tell me what I have to do. They say, you want to do that? How can we help? And I was involved with another veterans group, and it drove me nuts. It might have been the same guy, but I describe it, there was two guys, and it was kind of like yellow pages for Facebook.
Oh.
You could put your link on there and a brief description of what you did. And if I wanted that, I could go to your link and do it. But there was two guys. One was a car detailer. One was an air duct cleaner. And it might have been the same guy, because it was so similar. They'd post 5 times a day. And at the end of their post, they'd say, if we don't book business in the next couple of days, we're going out of business. And I'm thinking, why would I do business with you? You're not going to be there.
Why? Yeah.
And I went to our CEO, Rob Raymond, and I said, Rob, we have so much wonderful talent. the trendy word, geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why don't we develop a way to serve those who have served us?
Mm.
And that's what we've been doing, and for about a year now. And I've met so many wonderful. I've met people from not only the U.S., but
Mm-hmm.
I had a Royal British Marine
Mm-hmm.
contact me. He lives in Spain now, but he was in the UK, the British Navy, and he's looking at starting a subgroup to do something similar um, in Europe. And our Canadian leader, Laura Armstrong, had
Mm-hmm.
asked me, Mac, is this just for the U.S.? I said, no. I, I said, every free country has men
Mm-hmm.
and women that fit this
Yeah.
target market.
Mm-hmm.
Let's show all of them within their own country
Mm-hmm.
how they can be successful and just be better.
Yes. Yeah. And it's so important because a lot of times I feel like is a business because me being a business person myself, you sometimes you get to that point where you might feel a little alone. Like you're like, okay, who do I can reach out to? Who can I really trust? Who can I really can help me get through or deal with or seen something that I went through and say, okay, Barbara, I've been through that. This is what you kind of need to think about or do. And I love that Achieve does that. This gives us that platform, like you said, to be open enough and be authentic enough to ask those questions and to get the help. And like you said, let's hold each other up, even in around like you said. I love the international part of it. Like you said, everybody, not just the U.S. It's I'm loving how we're reaching out. We're going to those different other countries as well.
Well, look at what we're doing. George Jetson video talk. My grandmother wouldn't understand this, but we're in a global world. And the toughest problem I had with the global world, I have a team in Nigeria, and teaching them not to call me at 3 in the morning, and then because I'd leave my phone on 24/7, and it was a habit from when I was on the road in case my family needed to reach me, and
Mm,
the hotel clerk wasn't answering the phone.
mm,
So it's a pretty remarkable world that we're in.
yeah.
That you're on the other side of the U.S. I
Mhm.
uh, I had a call with a gentleman, and he scheduled a Zoom, and I saw it was uh, uh, a phone number from Mexico.
Okay.
So we did the Zoom and get on. He had a British accent, and I
Oh.
go, "You're in Mexico?" He says, "Oh yeah, I was down here on vacation before COVID, and I got stuck here. I met a girl, and I got married, and so now I live in Mexico."
Wow. Look at that. That's wild.
2 hours later, I'm talking to a guy in Malaysia who was born in Ukraine, raised in Germany, and lives in Malaysia because he met a girl and stayed there. And I asked him, "Who are you hiding from?" But I try to have a sense of humor about what we're in, but it's
Yeah.
pretty marvelous
Yes, it
what our
is.
world offers us. We
Yeah.
just have to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, learn how to deal with it. And like you said, going back to some of the basic steps. One of the steps is what your mother gave you. I love that. I'm going to use that if you don't mind. I'm going to borrow it. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. That's one. And the other part that you said before we came on is living. Just live.
Yeah.
When I see people getting all like, oh, like the sky is falling, like, Chicken Little, that was saying about the sky is falling. And I'm like, okay, you can stop it because sometimes that sky falls is you. It's not really like everybody else doing that. Sometimes we do our own sky falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that um, we're used to people, and we've been raised with people being bullies, being abusive, you
Yeah.
know,
Unfortunately.
whatever it is. I'm a guy, you're a girl. The different races, different religions,
Yeah.
and we put a wall up,
Yeah.
and we don't realize that everybody has struggles.
Yes.
Um, I believe that if we empower people, and I'm also a believer, without getting too foo-foo or new age about it, I'm a believer that if we put negative stuff out there, negative stuff will attach itself to us.
Right, yeah. Words are
It may
powerful.
not be what we worried about, but something's going to come on and smack us.
Yeah.
And if we put good stuff, hopefully more good stuff attaches to us.
Oh yeah. I totally 150% yeah on that kick. I tell people words are powerful. So when you're putting all those negative and saying all those negative stuff and saying who you not and what can't happen and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's gonna come back to you. It comes back. In the universe just brings it back some kind of way. And you'll be like, okay, why am I always dealing with this? Well, you've been saying negative stuff. It's like you've been putting those seeds out there and now they're all growing. And it's negative. It's called negative, negative, negative. But I like I said, when you do something like what you're doing, Matt, just going back to how you're helping so many individuals, doing that transferring from where they were to now, especially with the vets and everybody else, not just the veterans, but businesses and everything. You're putting out seeds, and not just for you, but you're doing it for so many others. So nothing can come back except the positive.
I, I, I hope so. We refer to our group as a tag mission rewired because going into the military, people would talk about the mission that they were on, and that, and even a lot of law enforcement people that I've met, both local, sheriffs and police, but also federal law enforcement. They talk about their mission, and that in business we talk more and more about our mission statement. What is it we're trying to accomplish? The thing that I like about Achieve is there is no particular box. Every one of us, the thousands of us that are involved, sometimes it's the stay-home mom that is selling vitamins or jewelry or something because they can't afford childcare, especially if they have multiple kids. My niece told me she had 5 kids. Her husband died after her 5th kid when he was 32 years old, and that child care was $300 a week per kid. When I took my daughter the first time to daycare and that at a private home, it was $19 a week. If you have 3 or 4 kids and that's $1,200 a week, how much do you have to make?
Yeah.
Or it's worthwhile. And so we have those beginning people that are just looking for a little bit more. We also, as you know, we have people in the group that have made 7, 8, and 9 figures a year. And, one of our gentlemen, he was a colonel in the Army, and that he did 23 years. He had Robert Kiyosaki on his podcast a few months ago. He had General Petraeus last month, or maybe it was the month before. So there's so many different levels.
Yes.
Look, we're not all at the same level, but we can learn something, kind of like what you were saying, nuggets.
Yes.
Just in passing, doing a conference, being on a phone call.
Yes.
I meet somebody and I say, you should talk to so-and-so because he's been exactly where you are. It's not about everywhere I've been. I'm just a conduit that I can recognize who should be talking to who.
Yeah.
How do we
how you can connect to other person that needs that connection. I love that. Yeah. Oh, oh my God. I can't believe I'm looking at it. I'm like, what? Like I said, Matt can just talk to you. I love what you do. I love what you give. But I wanted to make sure I give you just a little time to give any other golden nugget or anything that you want to share with the audience. But I'm going to take myself down and I'll be right back. and then we'll talk about how they can contact you.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, the tough thing for all of us is, how do we want to live life? I'm trying to reach out. I'm trying to give to people that have served us. Life is hard, and we don't all have mentors that have a purpose to try to help us succeed. But when we do succeed, there's a very important realization that we have to have, and that is, we now are obligated to help somebody else. They will come along. We have to open the door to show them that they are the next generation of leaders, and they need to support everybody along their path. We never know who's on our path. I've always said that it may be for a few minutes, it may be for a lifetime. Individually, we have to figure out what that purpose is. Life is a two-way street. We have to get value, but we also have the obligation of giving value. And that's what I try to do with everything that I'm doing, tied into our veterans law enforcement first responders group.
Perfect. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say except thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I just appreciate you so much. Everybody, tell them how they can contact you, because people need to talk to you.
I sent you my calendar link. That's always the best way. Okay. And that I would say that's the best way. Schedule time with me and let's talk. I normally, schedule out 30-minute times, because that takes about 30 minutes just to get to know somebody. If we need more time, I normally have a little extra time after that, or we can schedule a second and third. And there's people I talk to every couple days because something comes up.
Believe me, once you schedule time with Matt, 30 minutes is just not, that's just like the little, just like a little salad. You might be like, wait a minute, I got to get on the schedule again. And then I got to get on 30 more minutes, because you just, oh my God, just talking to you, learn so much. So yeah, please, we will make sure, and I will have this posted of Matt's link, so you can basically schedule some time with him. Again, he's one of our Achieve Alpha leaders, and also just an amazing person to talk to. And he's just an advocate for so many people that's needed right now. We had that conversation. Please make sure that you're honoring our vets. I just want to put that out there. I have to just say that again. Please just make sure, even tell them that thank you for just putting your life to the side from it to help me to make sure that I was okay in the United States or wherever they were serving. And then that's sometimes that goes a long way. It really does. So with that, Matt, thank you so much. You are family, sir. You can come on Achieve Experts Highlight anytime you want. I would love to always have you as a wonderful guest or even host or whatever you want to do. This is the platform to make sure that people understand. And I always say, you are not just only Matt, but everybody's listening. You're a lighthouse to the world. Somewhere down the line, you're bringing in people that really resonates with you because you have a uniqueness in you. So with that said, Matt, thank you so much again for your time.
Barbara. I look forward to the next time.
Yes. And everybody else, this is where you're going to meet our members and our alpha leaders of Achieve. So chime in, because you're going to learn so much and you're going to gain so much. And, you never know where you need that help. Like Matt said, just reach out, get that help that you need. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
Introducing the Diamond Factor Network, where we turn your business into a beacon of success. Imagine having your TV streaming show reaching audiences far and wide. It's possible with the Diamond Factor Network. Unlock the power of your brand with our state-of-the-art TV streaming platform. Your show, your way. Feature highlights, customized shows, global reach, and professional support. Coaching by Barbara J. Beckley, purpose, visibility, and social media strategist. Ready to elevate your brand? Join the Diamond Factor Network today and let your brilliance light up the world. Shine bright because your success is our priority.